Well, I think the technical challenge is part of what made me want to make it. Um, I wanted to do something I'd never done before, and there's a few things in this movie I kind of dipped my toe into a little bit of, action stuff. There's not a lot, but there's a little. But to me, the idea was that, a lot of movies are that have CG are spectacle films. They're, trying to blow your mind with showing you worlds you've never seen before. And I really wanted to go the opposite direction. I wanted to take all this technology and use it in this much more mundane fashion of, can you harness CG animation to do a credible, funny character who's quite human and gives a kind of a low-key performance, not a big. It's not The Mask with Jim Carrey. It's not like. It's not even like Roger Rabbit. It's like he's meant to look photoreal, and he behaves essentially like a human being. Because when I read the script, Paul actually came across as the most nuanced character in the screenplay. Those guys were very bold. They wrote a movie where the character that's got the funniest lines and that they play straight man to at times doesn't exist. And so actually then having this idea of wouldn't that be cool to pull this off, to actually trying to pull it off was quite difficult. There were many, many stages and a couple of dead ends along the way. Just developing the look of Paul, what he was going to physically look like, was quite difficult because it was built into the script that he should look like a classic alien with big almond-shaped eyes and giant head and little body. And so he had to look kind of cliche and generic on one hand and then have his own personality. And that involved designing things in the computer world, but ultimately cracking it by bringing in a sculptor who had studied anatomy. A guy who does some creature design for Guillermo del Toro came in, and I think really took the basic ideas that we were working on and then brought them to life with just subtle details of that an artist's touch will bring to something. The first time I read the script for Paul, I thought that it was a really good character and a really appealing one because he was the kind of character who didn't care what other people thought of him. I thought he was very, opinionated and brash and also nuanced. I mean, at times he's cowardly, at other times he's brave, at times he's really annoying and childish, and other times he's actually kind of a surprisingly good friend who'll employ a little bit of tough love to tell you things you don't want to hear, but are the things that can help you the most. So I thought, that's a very solid character, and he's also very funny, and he's got great lines. I mean, for me, one of the appeals of it was that having an alien character, you kind of can have him say things that might be harder for a mainstream movie to. Might be harder in a mainstream movie to have a human say these things. Paul, he's, besides being a dope smoker and a cigarette smoker and an atheist, he's also bisexual. There's things that, like, I don't know if that character was in. I don't know how people would react if they found out, Jonah Hill's character in a Judd Apatow movie was all of those things, bisexual atheist. I don't know how that would play.